different pronunciations. That's the Germanic version of Beltane, the Celtic celebration. And interestingly enough, I pulled the Hawthorne card from one of my decks, the Hedge Witch's Field Guide. I was doing doing all my pre-shuffles and cleansings of my decks to get ready, and two cards came out. So this one, Hawthorne, and it says Sacred on it. And the herbal Latin name is Crataegus monagna. Hawthorne happens to rule Beltane. It is a Beltane plant. And Beltane is a pagan solstice. It is a thinning of the veil, just like Samhain in October in the States, in the Northern Hemisphere. I am recording from my woodland backyard the afternoon after Beltane Eve. For those of you that dig ASMR, I did a 7-minute and a 2-ish minute ASMR clip of the fire last night, and the frogs were going absolutely nuts. It was so beautiful. I live in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and I have a really laid-back way of doing tarot, so, you know, get comfortable and take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Don't try to make stuff fit. When I talk about signs, like astrology signs, or I talk about gender representations in the tarot, know that I'm talking about energy, and I'm not talking about specific people. However, if you get the sense, if it reminds you of somebody as I'm describing a certain trait, then apply to your situation how it does fit. Trust your intuition. Anyways, so this was one of these cards, Hawthorne, that wanted to come out, and this is, again, from the Hedge Witch's Field Guide by Thompson. And I felt called to read on it and get the read started. I also pulled from, what is this? The Enchanted Blossoms Oracle by Carla Morrow. Those are the ones I've worked with in the past that have the butterfly and dragon and flower on it. The card that I pulled from that deck, and again, these just kind of shot out. I work with spirit, so I channel for spirit. I wanted to leave kind of a personal note. I know some of you want me to get into the reading, and I'm going to, but here's the thing. This is a bonus reading on Beltane, so I'm going to take my time. And if you're not in the mood, again, save for it later, or thank you for stopping by. Please give it a like, comment, or subscribe. Alright, so, yeah, this, it looks like here we're going to talk about sacred truth, apparently, because the truth card is the card I pulled from Morrow's deck. And it says Bittersweet Nightshade and Morning Cloak. Those are the flower and the butterfly. And I thought I would pull up the books for these. I did a lot of talking this week, and I'm having some bad allergies, so I'm raspier than usual. Again, I'm drinking tea, so I'm sure I'll be fine. I also just used some of my my shop pine oleo resin. It's what I put in my salves, harvested here on my land. Anyways, let's see if we can find this truth card. I love it when stuff is alphabetical in guidebooks. We're going to get into the tarot after I look into these. I felt called to speak on them. If you're interested in the music, my Spotify profile is in the description box, along with links to book with me, my IG, and more. I usually put playlists down there too that are relevant to the reading. So this is a bonus Beltane reading. I did promise my community subscribers that I would be sharing a bonus read if I could, so this is it. The playlist I'm listening to, I think, is the instrumental playlist, I believe. Yeah, so the truth card here, and I'll take a picture of this and make it the image. If y'all would like me to start putting the images in the community tab, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you celebrated Beltane or Volpersknacht, did you have fun, first of all? I mean, come on now. It's Beltane, right? It's the night of the fairies. Some people even say sometimes they see Pan, which is cool. I haven't seen Pan yet, but you never know. You never know what next year will bring, right? I actually ended up ending my night doing some Bushido practice. I work with a staff. I have some martial arts background, and I only really work with it when I feel the need to transmute the energy. And that's another thing about my readings. I've had a few people tell me that I transmute their emotions through the experience and give them a lot to think about. So if you don't like to be insightful, I'm probably not your reader, and that's cool. I mean, you know, I don't do competition. I just show up as myself, and that's not to say that I'm an arrogant ass. It's that I come from a background of having to fight to become who I am, and now I don't fight anymore. So the way I look at it is, sure, there's a flood of readers on YouTube, but there's also a lot of unique people out there who have something special. I have a community spotlight playlist where I share other readers I happen to enjoy that I think they have good messages. So if you want to check out that, go ahead. Also, at the end of this video, I will link Divine With Me, my Timeless Tarot Readings playlist. I also have another one in the description box, probably I'll put that there, called Channeled Messages. So it's like my readings plus just straight channels that came to me from source consciousness. Go very quantum sometimes, so stay with me. If you're genuinely curious about something I've touched on, go ahead and leave me a comment. And yet again, please share with me how you celebrated for the occasion. Now we can get back into the reading, okay? So the flower is Bittersweet Nightshade. I'm going to do my best to pronounce all these properly. Solanum dulcamara. The butterfly is the Morning Cloak. Nipholis antiopa. Getting very goth vibes from the truth card. I'm not going to read the history on it, but there's a question here, and it's on page 100 and 101. Might be synchronistic for somebody. Maybe you're giving 100% to something, or you've got just a little bit more than enough for yourself, plus your 100%. And I just looked at the clock, and it is 3:33, so that's cool. What are my main truths today? So what are your main truths today? What do you resonate with about yourself, about your concept of the world? How about sacred truths, right? What are some truths you know, like maybe some values that you have that ring true to you? Some ways of life that really feel sacred to you? What are some things, some beliefs? That's a good journal prompt for you if you like to journal. So the Hawthorne, May Blossom, Maythorn, Quickthorn, Whitethorn, Mother Dye, and Ha. Not like aha, like ha. Like hawk, but no K. Got it? Cool. I apologize for the planes. They come and go during the week. They're traffic control for the mountain, but I don't have any other kind of traffic, so you know, it's gonna happen every now and again. So the haw is the edible part of the hawthorn berry, and they are red berries. Some of you know they're like a Christmas berry. And yes, you can turn them into jams and jellies and syrups. And over here on page 91, it says Hawthorne is the tree of Beltane, a holiday celebrated on the 1st of May, and a time when it is said the seen and unseen worlds meet. Hawthorne plays a strong role in many folkloric traditions and is considered a tree sacred to the fairies, as well as being the wood of choice for witches' broom. Shout out to all my pagan friends out there, all my fellow witches. And if you're intimidated by the fact that I'm pagan, that's alright. Know that you're welcome if you have different beliefs. I'm a non-denominational channel. I work with spirit, and spirit isn't everything I believe, so, you know, as long as you're kind to me, we're all good. So, Beltane can also talk about the legend of the Fairy Queen. From the Hawthorne bush. If you're interested in me giving more herbal lore conversations or weaving in witchery to these readings, like talking about the different properties of plants and different energies, I'd love to expand in that way. My channel's still young, but I am creatively abundant. And I'm also an herbalist and a folk practitioner, both for plant medicine and also spiritual purposes. So here it says that the hawthorn is sacred because its prominent place in magical traditions. Ask yourself how the word sacred applies to your life. And it's here, it says your value system can be sacred. It can help you create a hierarchy of importance and place emphasis on whatever is most valuable in your life. I was just talking about truth, so I'm already channeling into the message for everybody. Alright, I think it's time to get into the tarot. Let me just set this aside. I'll leave these cards out. I'm working with my standard collective tarot deck, the Cosmic Tarot. I also have the Herbcrafters Tarot. Apologies, the shuffling might be loud for some, so, you know, take off headphones if you don't like that, if it's too loud. I did put a blanket under my, for my cards so they don't bang as much on my patio table for y'all. Alright, I also have the Cosmic Energy Oracle. I felt called to also bring out the Black Moon Astrology deck. And then I have a little mini Starseeds Oracle. So I've got a really good variety here. My collection's kind of small in comparison. I purchased these mostly for learning and personal use over the last 8 years. And now I'm starting to weave them into my readings. So I read reversals. Again, take energy as energy, not specific. Representations, if I use masculine or feminine pronouns, we're talking about either assertive or receptive energies. And then I also like to spread awareness that there's also neutral energies in everyone and everything. You know, there's that liminal space. And the fairies are all about the liminal space, and we are in the energy of the day after the Beltane celebrations. So if you hear any in the background recording, do let me know. I use descriptive audio if I look into oracle cards. I call out every card so you're not missing a thing, alright? Thank you if you're still here. Again, go ahead and drop a heart in the comments. The engagement does help the channel. Oh boy. Well, it looks like my fire people are back in the house. Welcome, welcome. First 3 cards out. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, I feel an intensity building. So if you're not in the mood for that, again, save this video for later or check out my other readings. Because we pulled the pulled the Six of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse, Nine of Wands upright, and then I just pulled the Hanged Man in reverse. It seems that you've had a perspective change on how you may have sabotaged yourself, got stuck up in your wounds, and thinking that you were powerless in a situation when you were not. And this is now a sacred truth to you. Maybe you don't want everybody to know that. Wow. And it has to do with personal wish fulfillment because the Nine of Cups just came out. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups is usually a really big love offering or a possibility to do a creative project. But in reverse means that it hasn't been given, or it was rejected or taken away, or maybe you feel like your wishes were taken away because of this revelation that you had. Yeah, okay, it's the end of a karmic cycle, but you're through it. I did another reading called The Wheel of Fortune, and we just had the Wheel of Fortune come out in reverse. So that's either refusing to turn the wheel or turning the wheel yourself. I feel like in this particular instance you turned the wheel because you had a perspective change. And then the Four of Pentacles came out, so that tells me that you also have figured out where your foundation lies. Yeah, Three of Cups. You want to celebrate this. You want to have fun. Yeah, especially with the Three of Swords in reverse. And I just saw the Lover's card on the deck. I'm going to take it with the Three of Swords. So, Three of Swords is heartbreak and betrayal and all that, but it's upside down, so you are out of it. You've concluded a major karmic cycle. Be very proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. Again, this is for multiple people and the collective. The collective is everyone. But sometimes, like when you like a video, an energy transference happens, which means I pick up on your energy more. If you comment on the videos, your energy becomes more dominant in the readings. It sounds like a gimmick, but I've actually experienced this personally before I decided to adopt the philosophy and start talking about it. So yeah, if you want to be a part of this community and you like my vibe, please subscribe. Hit the like button. And I just pulled the Four of Wands card next to the Lovers. Maybe you found a new love. Maybe you found something else that is the choice for your celebrations. And Four of Wands can represent a big celebration, like buying a house, having a wedding, having a big party, the foundation of spiritual beliefs. But then we pull the Eight of Wands in reverse. So something's keeping you from moving full steam ahead on something that is really powerful for you. Five of Pentacles. So it could be a lack mentality. Yeah, Two of Wands in reverse. Maybe it's something you tried to manifest and it didn't work out. King of Cups. Wow, okay. Hold on one sec. With the Six of Cups. Wow. Whew! Judgment in reverse. Holy cow. This is... Eight of Swords in reverse. Wow, wow, wow. That's so cool. Okay, 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 okay. So, hold on one sec, one more. Two of Cups. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm getting full body chills right now. I am getting full body chills. Wow. So the King of Cups is, it's a very emotionally intelligent king. Represents usually Scorpio energies, but it could also represent other water signs with a masculine energy. And usually the King of Cups is someone who deeply loves somebody, admires life, and is solid and reliable, And this king is looking right over at the Six of Cups. Kind of like this, the Six of Cups usually rolls like a soulmate connection. It represents deep love, emotional connection, spiritual connection. It can also represent somebody from your past, either in this lifetime or another. I do believe in past lives and reincarnation. So, in a positive, this king is looking over like at this nostalgia, at this deep love bond, and it's just very endearing and loving. And the Judgment card in reverse means that you've just come out of an awakening. And my other readings from the last couple months or so really follow this. Like I said, I call them tarot quests because it's quite a journey that we're having. I'm finding that a lot of my readings link to each other. And because they're collective, this is a collective theme. And I'm also a professional astrologer, so I can kind of pick up on energies both astrologically, psychically, and using tarot as a spiritual guide to kind of help people understand. So a lot of people are going to resonate. Exactly how it fits in your life may mean something different. Like if this isn't about a loving soulmate connection, it could be something you created in the past that you were really fond of that made you feel that deep emotional connection with yourself. And maybe this was a part of your awakening with the Judgment card in reverse. And it's like you had to find a way to access this heart space, because the King of Cups is also the King of Hearts in traditional playing cards. And then we have the Eight of Swords in reverse over here. So you got out of your head after this awakening. Wow, that is huge, because some of the energies I've been picking up on have been kind of stuck up in their head. And you know, some people are more intellectual than others. Other people have legitimate anxiety disorders, and I'm not a medical or mental health professional, but I am an advocate. So I sometimes speak on breaking stigmas around mental health and other topics. So yeah, I advocate for people who are learning how to advocate for themselves, because I at one point had to learn how to do that for myself, which is why I'm now a guide. So the Eight of Swords in reverse is getting out of your own mental prison. I don't feel like I'm going to read that in a negative way, because it really does feel like a conclusion. And it's because of this Two of Cups over here. This Two of Cups, this is also a deep soulmate. This is like the ultimate divine union. And we've got Six of Cups, Two of Cups, and the Lovers out here, plus the Four of Wands. So like, this is a huge turnaround. Like, I really feel like the Six of Wands in reverse up here, the first card out, like that's no longer, that's in the past. This whole like feeling wounded or spiteful, maybe even a little mad about some things, and like just like feeling beaten down by the world, and it's like the end of an era. It's some deep healing that happened here. Waters are also very healing. And Two of Cups, again, that can represent a divine counterpart, soulmate, like your person, your freaking person. And again, it's not toxic. It's not, when I say toxic, I just mean it's not with an unhealed person. And I'm seeing Princess of Swords in reverse and the Emperor at the bottom. That's interesting. I'm going to take both of those right on top of the Two of Cups. So Princess of Swords, that's like not just sitting back and watching anymore and taking authority with the Emperor card. This is something you're feeling very confident about. Maybe it took you a long time to process your feelings and your thoughts, and you had to come around to the idea, but now you're finally moving forward. If we pull the Chariot card, I'm gonna whoop-de-doo for you, let me tell you, because the Emperor drives the Chariot card. I'm just like, is it gonna come out? Ooh, this is exciting. Oh, I'm